Good afternoon. I am Peter Kaczynski. I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 12th, 2026 meeting of the New York State Board of Elections, celebrating Abraham Lincoln's birthday today. Joining me today are Commissioners Henry Berger, Commissioner Tony Casale, and Commissioner Esma Bagnola. And we will begin today with the minutes of December 9, 2025. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I believe that's passed unanimously. We'll now move on to unit updates. Our first one is from the executives, Christian Zabrowski-Stavisky and Raymond Riley. Who would like to start?
I'll take it, Commissioner. Thank you. Good afternoon. The co-executive directors worked with staff throughout the agency, as well as coordinated with county boards of elections and other state agencies on several issues since our December board meeting. To start off on a note about the 2026 special elections, the year is already off to a busy start. Last week, New Yorkers voted in 4 special elections, 3 in New York City and 1 in Erie County. The snowstorm 2 weeks ago impacted early voting in New York City, which caused 2 days of voting to be canceled. Coordinating with our partners in the governor's office, as well as the New York City Board of Elections, voters were informed of the change and hours were extended on the remaining days to make up the difference. We had daily calls with our state partners and the city board to monitor the storm and the aftermath. We want to thank our partners in state government, as well as the entire team at the New York City Board of Elections for their work navigating the storm and an election. Moving on to the primary and general elections for this year, the official start of the election season is upon us, and the state board has been busy getting ready. We've already had filings for statewide office received from 3 of the 4 parties. Party calls for state and local political parties are being received by us and County Board of Elections, as the filing deadline was Monday. National change of address has been distributed to the counties, and the enrollment change deadline for voters to choose a new party is this Saturday. Petition collection starts in less than 2 weeks, and filings will be received by state and local boards from March 30th to April 6th. Moving on to the budget, the governor's 2026 budget was released last month. In it, the State Board of Elections received full funding for our operations. As the process moves through the legislature, we will continue to monitor and keep the commissioners informed. For online voter registration, in 2024, OVR for both the State Board of Elections and the New York City portal, 392,743 New Yorkers used OVR to register. In 2025, that number was 331,225. In total, since inception in 2023, over 750,000 transactions have flowed through both the city and the state portals. We will continue to monitor usage and seek to raise awareness so that more residents can access the system. We continue to work to enhance online voter registration to flow through our automatic voter registration clearinghouse. Our goal is to streamline systems to provide the most efficient, effective system for all constituent groups, voters, counties, the general public, interested in public reporting, and obviously our governmental partners. In terms of automatic voter registration, our partnership with the New York State ITS to implement AVR and its clearinghouse necessary to transfer information efficiently between the state and its counties and the AVR agencies continues. We've been meeting weekly. Our technical teams also have a regular meeting cadence. Phase 1 is complete in terms of the state board systems. We expect to connect registrations through the clearinghouse to county boards next week with our first agency. We finalized business requirement sessions for phase 2. We continue our collaboration with AVR agencies, and we expect additional agencies to be connecting in the coming weeks and months. Moving on to the PCFB SBOE integrated software. MTX has been on site since March of 24. They continue to work closely with the deputy directors and our CIO, our business unit, and our IT unit. Our team at MTX are hard at work finishing matching and payments for PCFB, and we continue to work in integration with the SFS system. Public reporting has been developed, testing continues, and we've had multiple meetings with stakeholders. We are currently implementing feedback provided by those stakeholders, and we expect the new public reporting site to go live within the next 60 to 90 days. In terms of other 2025 projects, work on Train the Trainer continues. As mentioned in our last meeting, we are partnering with the Election Center to stand up the State Board of Elections Training Institute. Just last month, SBOE staff traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet with the Election Center and review requirements, and that work is ongoing. In terms of the voting and election database, again, the chapter 56 of the laws of 2024 established the Dr. John Flatteau Voting and Elections Database of New York at the State Board. The project is underway. Our Public Information Office is doing active outreach to entities required to report results outside of the County Board of Elections, and they will continue to do so. For ongoing meetings, we continue a bi-weekly meeting scheduled with the Division of Budget. With the executive branch, we meet monthly with the Office of General Services. The co-executive directors and staff continue our monthly conference calls with the Election Commissioners Association of the State of New York and Division of Election Law Enforcement cadence. We continue to work on training and guidance to provide county boards of elections with resources and tools to carry out their statutory duties. And with that, I will pass it over to Kristen for any additional comments she might have.
I would just say that I was struck by the number of registrations in 2024 and 2025 that they were fairly close. So we're seeing a lot of interest in elections, and I think the database you spoke about is another wonderful step as we move forward for transparency and information so that people will have it at their fingertips. And I just want to say to our staff that we give our thanks, because in many ways in the last few years, I think we sort of hurtled into the 21st century with our technology projects. And, you know, it's not without wrinkles. It's we learn as we go. And I have to say that our staff, particularly our IT staff and our business staffs that sit and work on these requirements and what needs to happen in the system, spend a lot of hours and a lot of time. And sometimes our IT has to step up and come up with solutioning. And I just really would commend them because I think they do a great job.
Okay, any questions of either of them? If not, we'll move on to election operations. Amy and Jude.
Thank you, Commissioner. In addition to participating in a number of initiatives covered in the co-executive director report, we have also resumed acceptance testing in a number of counties. And we have that scheduled through the better part of March. For voting system updates, we received 3 ECOs from Clear Ballot that have all been ruled de minimis. Testing for ES&S is underway. Nothing new to report from Liberty. And HART, the completion of the HART testing for 279 will be presented later in this meeting for your consideration. For electronic poll books, we do have a new submission from No Inc. For 4.2, as well as a de minimis upgrade that was approved just in terms of the operating system for new e-poll books under the last version. We do expect to complete that testing within the next few weeks for your approval, for consideration for your approval at the next meeting. And for enhanced voting, the automated audit tool that was presented at the last board meeting, testing is underway. Anything else, Jude?
Nothing to add. Thank you so much.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
We lost Commissioner Kuzinski's sound, I think.
I'm sorry, I believe I was muted, and that was my fault. So I'd like to thank you, and if there's no questions, we'll move on to Council's office with Brian Quayle and Kevin Murphy.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have kind of a full update. We'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. We have a significant amount of litigation that the agency is involved with. If there are any follow-up questions, feel free to just interrupt me with those as we move through them. To start off with, we have New York Republican State Committee versus the State of New York, which is the federal challenge to the even year election law that is in the Eastern District of New York. The state board was added as a party to this in the amended complaint that was filed late last year. We submitted a letter clarifying the agency's litigation posture at the end of January. That case is in very early stages. There is a conference scheduled for, I believe, the second week in March that will set a number of preliminary issues out as far as the motion practice for that. So we will keep everybody updated. Regarding Williams versus the New York State Board of Elections, this was the challenge to the district lines in Congressional District 11 in New York. The New York State Supreme Court found the district lines unconstitutional at the end of January. There were appeals simultaneously filed in the First Department and the New York State Court of Appeals on constitutional grounds. The Court of Appeals just in the last day or two declined to hear it directly, so that appeal will move forward in the First Department. However, the matter is generally stayed as far as moving forward in terms of drawing new lines due to the pendency of the appeal. So we will we're keeping a very close eye on that, as obviously upcoming deadlines and timeframes are crucial in moving forward with any remedy in that case. In Citizens Audit versus Letitia James and other parties, this is a federal case brought by Citizens Audit seeking equitable relief and money damages relating to claims for defamation, among other things, in regards to the Attorney General and our agency's comments and actions with regard to their activities in the last couple of election cycles. We are represented by the Attorney General's office. We have filed a motion to dismiss on a number of grounds. That was fully briefed on January 20th. So we are awaiting a decision on that motion to dismiss, and we are hopeful that that will be disposed of with some level of haste. In the Southern District, American Future Fund versus the New York City Campaign Finance Board, as well as us, we are also a named party. This was a challenge to some definitions in state statute relating to independent expenditure committees. The organizations sought to have a number of ads run in the New York mayoral race back in November and sought a preliminary injunction against the defendants in enforcing that statute and requiring them to file certain disclosures. That preliminary injunction was denied at the end of October. They have filed an interlocutory appeal in the Second Circuit, which is ongoing. Our position is generally that that is effectively moot now that the election is over. A mediation session occurred between the parties on February 2nd, where unsurprisingly, there was no agreement on moving forward in any sort of settlement, so that is continuing. In United States versus the New York State Board of Elections, this is the Northern District matter relating to the denial of requests from the DOJ for certain NICE voter data. A motion to dismiss has been filed by the Democratic defendants and interveners. Those motions were fully briefed at the end of January. We are awaiting a decision on that to determine whether this case will move forward on the underlying merits. In a similar situation regarding underlying merits, Common Cause versus Kaczynski, this is the challenge to the certification of the Express Vote XL case. The Third Department reversed and remanded the original decision back to the Albany County Supreme Court to proceed on the underlying merits. Where it continues, we are hoping to have resolution on that in hopefully the coming weeks, but we're continuing to work with the court on a few last final discovery issues and some materials that the court is seeking to reach its determinations. And then finally, in Frenzel versus Moore, this is the federal challenge to the OTV write-in statute. The Western District had dismissed this case at the end of June of last year. An appeal has been taken to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. The state board has taken no position. It continues to move, admittedly slowly. This is now, I think, going on the third year of this litigation. So we are just keeping an eye on it, but it has moved its way around and has generally been found against the plaintiffs at pretty much every step so far. So we would anticipate the Second Circuit will likely do the same. If there are no questions on the litigation update, I will attempt to move quickly through the rest of the update. As you can note on the rest of the meeting agenda, we have a formal opinion regarding contributions made in cryptocurrency, a hearing officer reappointment, and our legislative recommendation packet for this year. We will get to those in due course. And on the compliance front, just a quick update that the total number of active filers is 7,358. 1,456 non-filers are still on record as of Tuesday for the January periodic. Since the last board meeting, staff has completed nearly 5,000 reviews, registered 358 candidates, 121 committees, held 2 live winding down the campaign webinars with 133 attendees, and happy to discuss some progress with our candidate match program. We have completed processing ballot access information from all 62 counties. To date, 8,193 candidate records have been loaded into CAPAS. Initially, 2,821 letters were sent to candidates that did not match with our system, with the county boards receiving a corresponding list. And as of today, the number of candidates who have still not registered has decreased to 1,619. So between November and today, over 1,200 candidates have responded to those letters in that outreach. Initiatives continue to update and refresh both our campaign finance handbook and our webinar series. Council and compliance are having bi-weekly meetings to discuss progress on moving forward with that. So we look forward to continuing that project. Otherwise, the unit continues to process and investigate dormant committees, follow up on invalid email addresses and committees on hold, and continue to address a number of outstanding deficiencies. And as always, just want to make sure we give our thanks to the compliance staff. I know we have lost a couple of members of the staff over the last few months, and the unit continues to prove that it can do more with less, but we would like them to be able to do more with more down the line. So, but in the meantime, we want to thank them for their continued hard work. And unless Brian has anything, that will conclude my report.
I have nothing to add.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to enforcement and Mike Johnson.
Thank you, Commissioner. The Division of Election Enforcement has been busy with getting out our non-filer letters. As of January 20th, we sent out 3,159 emails. 120 of those emails either bounced back or did not have a valid email address on file with the State Board of Elections. The ones that bounced back, we're sending those to compliance. And on the 23rd of January, we mailed out 2,486 certified letters to the treasurers, and 1,676 letters were mailed to the authorized candidates. As of February 10th, 42 certified letters were returned, and 92 candidate letters have been returned. As of yesterday, 1,060 committees have made their filings as a result of the letters. And we've expedited our timelines to comply with New York State Election 14-1085, their 10-day letter process. And our new processes include ways to track and mail out certified letters. And the process that we now have in place greatly reduces our reliance on manual data entry. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a
Sure, Commissioner, go ahead.
question on your report to close certain investigations. What you're referring to is the Latimer case. My understanding is that the Latimer campaign received a $50,000 contribution from a GoFundMe page, and they have reported apparently those contributions are essentially anonymous, but they were able to report some of those contributions on their report. Do we know, first question, do we know that they have reported all of the contributions from the GoFundMe campaign over $99?
I don't have an answer on that. I'll have to get back to you on that particular.
And the other question I have is, since the campaign is required to keep records of all contributions, including the name of the contributor and other information, even if they're under $99 and don't have to report them to us, do we know that the campaign has the names of all the contributors to that GoFundMe campaign?
There are certain rules in terms of how GoFundMe works, in terms of what they can get from GoFundMe, whether or not the candidates or the committees have that information, that I'll have to go back and look in the files.
Let me suggest two things. One is that if they haven't gotten that information, they are not permitted by law to accept anonymous contributions. They would have to refund those contributions to either GoFundMe or turn the money over to the state. And number two, until those matters are resolved, how can we close this investigation?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Ginevra Cushman. I am a special investigator with Division of Election Law Enforcement. There's some interesting things that occur with GoFundMes, which I'm not sure you're aware about. GoFundMes allow contributors to request that their names not be published on the GoFundMe website. So even though the GoFundMe website lists it as anonymous, the names and identities and all required information for those contributors is actually captured and maintained by GoFundMe and is provided to the committees. So it's the public appearance of the anonymous name on the website that we have received multiple complaints about this sort of thing, just because of a lack of understanding and clarity with how GoFundMe works. So those contributions are not actually anonymous. I will have, as the chief said, we'll have to double check and verify, but I'm sure there were a lot that were under the reportable amount, and consistent with the election law, the ones that were able to be reported as unitemized were able to be done. And I believe that the individual responsible for that specific case did make those verifications you requested, but I'm sure the chief would be willing to double check to provide you with that information direct.
Thank you. I would appreciate if you could confirm that for me and for the commissioners, and let us know that they are in fact fully in compliance at this point. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Okay, any further questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to NVRA PIO, Kathleen and Jennifer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. To start off with our updated FOIL request information, since we last met in December, PIO has received 441 requests via FOIL. 428 of those are completed, with 13 remaining in process. For the SBOE website, we've made numerous updates to the website since the last meeting, including publishing the certified results from 2025, publishing the 2026 political and campaign finance calendars, as well as the special election calendars for those elections last week. We've posted a new HAVA determination, as well as updated the statement of identity forms from contributing LLCs. We've published the certification of offices to be filled in 2026 and updated pages about the party enrollment deadline this weekend. We made the election night reporting site live for the special elections, and we updated with board meeting information and documents for today. Our email service contact list has grown to almost 3,400 subscribers. We've sent out 3 blast emails since the last board meeting, again announcing the publication of those calendars, reminding filers about the January periodic report, and providing information for today's board meeting. We've also sent out blast emails, as was alluded to in the PCFB meeting before this, to their participants about their new 24-hour notice requirement, a handbook revision, and the program certification deadline that is upcoming. Under NVRA, since the last board meeting, NVRA coordinator Dan Toomey conducted a training with Veteran Services last month, and he has 2 more training sessions with agencies scheduled in March. We continue to work with those state agencies to ensure that proper voter registration data is submitted to the county boards, especially in light of the transition to AVR. For county board outreach, we presented at the ECA Winter Conference last month regarding grants, NVRA requirements, 2026 deadlines, and language access. I also participated in a panel to discuss communications best practices for county boards. As co-executive director Riley mentioned, we have distributed this year's NCOA National Change of Address files to county boards, so mail checks can begin during the upcoming required time period. And we have collected annual voter registration forms from those county boards. We've communicated about the upcoming annual enrollment deadline that is on February 14th, including working with DMV to ensure New Yorkers know that they can use that OVR portal from the board, as DMV is shutting down their online process and their offices for system upgrades beginning tomorrow. Since our December board meeting, our PIO staff has done no county board visits given the holidays and the inclement weather, but in the coming month, Dawn Barber and Dan Toomey will visit both counties in Long Island as well as New York City. And as the weather improves, they'll be restarting their biannual visits to all county boards across the state. For media, we have responded to a number of inquiries regarding a wide variety of state board issues, including certified election results, campaign finance disclosure reports, and contribution limits, implications of the even year election bill, the agency's budget request, and deadlines, and spending and reporting by independent expenditure committees. We do an awful lot on social media at the state board. Since we last met, we've shared those updated 2026 calendars. We've sent alerts about the special elections. We celebrated Help America Vote Day on January 27th. And done posts about the enrollment deadline. However, I will take a moment to mention the highlights since we last met, as we did a 10-part series on social media called Election Carol, an election carol about election security featuring our agency mascot, Ballot the Beaver, as Ebenezer Scrooge. We maintain accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and are increasing followers and impressions and interactions on all of those platforms. Before I turn it over to Jen for the grants report, I'll note, again, as the co-executive director's report noted, PIO continues to be a part of the state board team working on the design and functionality of the public reporting application overhaul as part of the greater MTX project, as well as taking the lead for the voting and elections database, VITA, in terms of communicating with school districts, villages, and libraries about the law change. And lastly, earlier this month, Jennifer, myself, and our 2 social media team members attended the New York State Digital Innovation Lab, where we collaborated with public information officers from other state agencies about best practices for social media and digital communications with New Yorkers. And if there are no questions for me, I will pass it over to Jennifer.
Thanks, Kathleen. Not much to report on grants this past period. In January, we submitted our quarterly federal financial report to the Elections Assistance Commission on our HAVA election security grant. And then, as Ray mentioned earlier, we're currently waiting for the final budget to be done so we can see which of our grants will be reappropriated.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay, any questions for Kathleen or Jennifer? Hearing none, we'll move on to accessibility and training with Helen and Jennifer, who I understand are both out today. So I believe, Ray, are you going to do the update?
Yeah, I'll do a brief update on their behalf. Since the last board meeting, the unit has conducted outreach to all county boards to confirm that accessibility surveys are on file for the 2025 poll sites. Each county has responded to the outreach and is taking steps to ensure that their surveys are complete and submitted as required. As counties prepare for the March 15th deadline to designate poll sites for the 2026 general election, the unit has responded to inquiries regarding poll site relocations and modifications and how such changes impact the validity of existing surveys. As I mentioned in my report, the unit is obviously working very closely with the Election Center for development of the Train the Trainer program. And lastly, the unit presented during the January ECA conference. In that presentation, the unit discussed website accessibility requirements. And the unit will continue to work with the county boards to ensure that they meet the new statutory guidelines that require accessibility of websites this year.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any questions on that topic? Hearing none, I'll move on to ITU. Laura and Ben.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ben Spear here, representing Laura as well, who is absent on behalf of the ITU and the Secure Elections Center. We continue in the ITU to support the development of the automatic voter registration, the flat toad database, and the MTX public campaign finance projects. Especially appreciate Co-Executive Director Zabrowski-Savitsky's statements earlier, as our development team in particular has been working to address ever-changing requirements, not just in the new systems, but the old systems due to the unique circumstances of the compressed special elections earlier this month and the new rules under PCFB from legislation. We are also proud as we continue to work towards these new projects. We have launched our first internally developed application on the new platforms that we'll be building on so that our team develops those skills so that they can take on these projects in the future as we complete them. Turning to the Secure Elections Center, we have been working through our cybersecurity training for county boards of election. And members of each county boards of election have completed the training. We also in December launched our Lunch and Learn series. This is a series to address common gaps identified in security practices and policies across the counties in order to more effectively reach everybody directly as opposed to one-on-one. That first session on data restoration was attended by 43 counties with over 160 attendees. And we'll be having our next Lunch and Learn in 2 weeks on data classification. So we're looking forward to that. Planning has begun, and we'll be doing further planning with our partners shortly at the state level for our biannual security roadshow, where we will be going around the state, meeting with county boards, IT directors, emergency managers, and communications directors on election security issues and areas to address. Lastly, I have been representing the board in our security efforts in multiple forums and conferences, some which have gotten coverage in state and local IT trade outlets. Myself and Laura will be representing the board at the State Association of Counties, the National Association of Secretary of State, and the State Local Government IT Director Association in the coming months. That's all for this report.
Thank you. Are there any questions of Ben? Hearing none, we'll move on to old business. Is there any old business to come before the board? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to new business. New business, we have a voting systems resolution upgrades. Does someone, Jude, you want to discuss these?
I'll happy to pass it over to my director.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yep.
Hart has submitted version 279, which is a modification to their current system. It includes the introduction of a new printer and workstation, as well as some updated functionality and reporting for counties. It has undergone all of the testing by our federally certified voting system testing lab and has completed all of that testing, and that has been reviewed by, their work has been reviewed by NISTEC, and that testing is successfully completed and presented for your consideration.
Okay, are there any questions of Amy or Jude on this topic? And there's a resolution before us on this. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I hear a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it's a pass unanimously. And now we'll move on to an advisory opinion that was prepared, I believe, by Council's Office on cryptocurrency. Could we have an explanation from the Council's Office, either Brian or Kevin?
Sure, happy to do so. Just to clarify, even though it's on the agenda as an advisory opinion, this would actually be a formal opinion, just for semantic purposes. We did receive a request for an opinion regarding whether contributions could be made in the form of cryptocurrency, resulting in this formal opinion. In short, the determination of the board is, or the suggested opinion to be adopted by the board rather, is very much in line with the FEC advisory opinion on the same subject, which would be that cryptocurrency is permitted as a contribution. It will be recorded under this formal opinion as an in-kind contribution with the disclosures that are required of any in-kind contribution, and as such, being in-kind would be valuated at the time of receipt and would be able to be contributed up to standard contribution limits, as with any other in-kind contribution.
Okay, are there any questions? I actually have one, and I just wanted to clarify this with you, Kevin. So the second to last paragraph in the opinion says that we reserve the right to develop additional reporting requirements. Are we anticipating additional or different reporting requirements for the committees on cryptocurrency?
We do not have anything in process at this point. That language primarily served just to clarify that as an emerging and very ever-shifting technology, the need for further reporting requirements may come up sometime in the future as this technology evolves. And just wanted to be clear that the four corners of this formal opinion would not be the be-all and end-all per se of reporting requirements for these sort of contributions.
But as of right now, it is. Is that fair to say?
Yes, there are no further guidance or regulations planned at this point.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a
Second.
motion. Is there a second? There's a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Again, is carried. We'll move on to our next item, which is a hearing officer reappointment. Any discussion? That's a reappointment of an existing hearing officer. Is that correct?
It is, and I believe it would be the second reappointment for this particular hearing officer.
Okay. Any discussion, questions on this? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that's also carried. The last item on the agenda is our 2026 legislative package, which, as I recall, looks a lot like our 2025 legislative package.
Yes, that is accurate, Commissioner. The only addition to last year's packet is the final bill 26-22, which is a proposal to consolidate election processes under a statewide voter registration and election management system to be administered solely by the State Board of Elections. This also is a policy that was, just for conversation purposes, adopted and proposed by the Election Commissioners Association at their recent conference as well.
Okay, are there any questions on this topic from any of the commissioners? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's also carried. That is the last item on today's agenda. Absent an executive session, I'm not aware that we need one unless someone wants one.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well then, no need for an executive session. We can entertain a motion to adjourn, and we'll schedule our next meeting when it's needed.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Wonderful time had by all.